Hey everybody, this is Betsy from the Greetery, and thanks so much for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing a new suite of products that we have as part of our 2023 holiday collection. This suite of products is called Plaid Tidings Very Merry, and it consists of a die, a stencil set, and a stamp. Each of these products can be used independently of each other or together for lots of mix and match options. So first of all, we have the die. There is a die for the individual letters to spell So Very Merry, and then there is kind of a background outline shadow, which coordinates with the stencil set, the large sentiment stamp in the stamp set, or it can be used with just the individual letters from the die. So like I said, lots of mix and match options. There are also a couple of small holly dies included in the die set, and those cut out the little holly images from the So Very Merry stamp set. The stencil set is a 5-piece stencil set, and it allows you to add plaid patterns as well as a shadow to the phrase. And so you can, like I said, you can stencil the design and you just create single layer cards, or you can combine the stencils with the die. The stamp set is a 4x6 set. It includes this large So Very Merry sentiment as well as several companion sentiments that are done in an arch that kind of just goes over the top, and a couple of little holly clusters. So let's go ahead and put together a card. I'm starting off with a panel of cardstock here in my MISTI. I'm going to put it in the upper left corner, just tuck it right inside of there so that I can lay my stencils over the top step by step, and everything will just line up perfectly. So I have 3 ink colors: Iced Spruce, Saltwater Taffy, and Lumberjack Plaid. And I'm going to be using Iced Spruce for the 2 stencils that have like the more concentrated lines, and then I'm going to use Worn Lipstick for the stencils that have just the more sparse lines. So I'm going to speed up this video so that we can get the stenciling done a little bit quicker. It's pretty easy. It's just you'll see me doing step by step and just getting all 4 steps done. It doesn't really matter which order you stencil these in. They are numbered in the upper left corner, so you can go by the numbers, or you can, it really doesn't matter. Your design is going to basically turn out the same no matter what order you do it in. So here you'll see the plaid is completed. There are 4 steps for doing the plaid, and then the 5th step is the shadow. If you don't want to do a plaid, you can definitely just do a couple stencils. You can choose to do 2 of the stripes that go the same way. You could do more of a sparse plaid by omitting steps 2 and 4, or you can do a very sparse plaid by just using the 2 stencils that have the thinner, more sparse lines. So now I'm going to do step 5, and this is the shadow, and I'm using Lumberjack Plaid. Next, I'm going to take the outline or shadow die, and I'm going to die cut that. I can just lay it right over the top and make sure everything's aligned and run it through my die cut machine. So I'm back with my die cut sentiment, and I'm going to pop that out and also pop out all of the little inner cuts. If you find that you end up with some impressions on the word itself, I like to just flip it around and take a stylus and just kind of go over those and smooth those out. Now I'm going to use the stamp set to stamp a few of the hollyberry clusters. I'm setting those up in my MISTI. There are 3 steps for each of those clusters. There is the base leaf, and then the berry, and then there is a little detail, kind of a shadow for the holly leaves. And so I'm just going to go ahead and do each of those steps, putting them into my MISTI. I'm using Iced Spruce ink for the leaves, and then Lumberjack Plaid for the berries. Now I'm going to work on assembling my card. I have die cut some of our popcorn garland strands. I have 3 of them here, and I'm just kind of playing around with placement, and then also placement of the sentiment that I want to stamp above the So Very Merry sentiment. So I'm just kind of playing around with where to put the garlands and where to stamp the sentiment. And when I have that figured out here, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment in Versamark ink, and then I will heat emboss that with white embossing powder. And now that my sentiment is finished, I'll go ahead and attach all of these elements. I'm going to just use some liquid glue to attach the popcorn garlands. This is my favorite liquid glue lately. It's called Barely Arts. It has this fine tip, it's like a needle tip point, which is great for more delicate die cuts. So I'm adding those popcorn strands, and then I'm also going to attach these little holly berry clusters. The sentiment is going to be attached with some foam tape just so that's popped up for a little bit of dimension. Then I'll go ahead and trim off the excess from my popcorn garlands from around the edges of my card base. Now I'm going to embellish my popcorn garlands with the mint and berry bits. These are so cute. They're little peppermints and little flat back berries. So they are perfectly sized to fit in the little circles on the popcorn garlands, kind of to look like strung beads or berries or peppermints. So cute. Again, I'm using my liquid glue with my needlepoint tip, which makes it really easy to get the glue just in the right spots. And we're finished. You will notice that I did sneak another popcorn garland down along the bottom just because I felt it needed it for the balance. So I did that off camera, but otherwise our card is finished. I can go ahead and add this to a card base and we're all set. These new products will be available beginning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday, October 6th from thegreetery.com.